let's just undo our work. Back to my base. Now we've got the cross left. Now the easiest way I would recommend doing the cross is by using our rectangle tool. Two ways of doing this. We can either just have a rectangle to create a very basic cross, or we could use a line tool for instance and then beginning to draw a really rough cross. However, I find this method a lot quicker. Now what we're then going to do is simply just begin applying our dimensions and locking those dimensions. So I'm going to make sure these dimensions at the top here stays at 10, which shrinks the full drawing down as you can see. So let's lock these in place. Now again, when you're doing this, you'll be expected to constantly refer to your drawings. Again, I've just submitted these to memory, so I know these sizes. But in this case, we're looking to dimension from the edge of our drawing, of our cross, to underneath the arms 20mm. For the underneath the cross, the top of the arms 30, but because I've already dimensioned that to 10, that should automatically lock in place once I've did my 20. And then again, the total length of that object is 50 with a 50mm extrusion. So let's jump back to Inventor. So again, working from top to bottom firstly, top, bottom to top here should be 20. Then overall size is 50. Just clicking between my two lines. So from a line to another line, click, click, pull and click 20mm. Again, click the bottom, click the top, click to set the dimension and then choose the overall size. So that is my fully constrained cross. Finishing the sketch, zoom all, and extruding by 50mm. Now I could have went in and trimmed these wee lines here, that would have made it probably a bit easier. So that I extruded it all at the one time, but we don't necessarily have to. So that is how we manufacture the cross. So moving on from that, let's go again back and undo all this. And let's try manufacturing the box now. So for the larger base of the box, we've got an object 160 by 160, 30mm tall, and starting to construct these shapes using the same dimensions as previously. We are told that there's a 20mm gap between each block, a 20mm gap between each shape and the outside edge, and it's a blind hole of 20mm, which means this blind hole is the fact this object's been cut to a depth of 20mm. So getting started, basic rectangle, dimension it, 160 by 160, zoom out, make it a perfect square, finish sketch and extrude by 30 according to the drawing. Now because that is my base done and I want to subtract into that shape, I'm then having to start a new drawing on top of that, so we're almost building it up in layers if you can imagine. So start my 2D sketch, start off with two basic ones, so looking at my drawing, square in the left, circle in the right, so square, dimension 50 by 50, and then dimensioning between our drawing and our object that we have currently in existence. So object or drawing, sorry, click the object, pull in the middle, a gap of 20mm according to the arrows, same at the bottom, 20mm. Finished off with a circle, then we'll move start another video. So again, a circle should be dimensioned at 50mm, and in the drawing you saw previously, you'll see that there's a 45mm gap from the centre. So click the centre, click the edge, change the size to 45, centre, edge, size 45, centre, edge, let's double check, yep, all good. And that's us for this task. We'll then move on to doing another two shapes. We will then subtract all of our objects and then maybe look at how to do a wee assembly with them.